So let's transition into the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots here in week 16 with huge stakes, by the way. If the Buffalo Bills win, the Buffalo Bills have the same record as the New England Patriots. But if the Patriots win, the Patriots clinch the AFC East title.
I see you, Kyle. Just taking my shine, taking my transition, taking my lead in, but it's respect. We're mutual colleagues here. We're podcasters in arms. Sports
game,
podcasters
respect,
in
game.
arms.
Game,
respect, game. Let's move into, like you mentioned, those Buffalo Bills versus the Patriots. One guarantee I can make. Mac Jones will 100% throw more than 3 passes in this game. I can, with 100% certainty, say that. One thing I found funny that I had in my notes going into this one, obviously the Bills, they had to break off a 2-game losing streak after facing both Brady and then Belichick in consecutive weeks. They go against Cam Newton, beat Cam Newton, because at this point, Cam Newton is just a shell of the player that he once was. But I find it hilarious that in the last 20 years, the Bills only have a handful of wins against the Patriots, and 2 of them came against Cam Newton. So it's a little bit of poetic imagery to think about. Of course, they would get right against Cam Newton. That's the only way they could beat the Patriots last year, with Cam Newton under center. And now they have to rebound the following week in this Patriots sandwich that we have here, almost Patriots, Bucks, Cam Newton, Patriots again. They need to not get swept by the Patriots. I think more than this division, I think this, you always talk about the macro level of things, talking about the bigger picture. I don't think the Bills mentally, their fan base mentally, can deal with the year you were supposed to be good, the year the division was supposed to be yours. The Patriots sweep you and win the division from you. That's going to leave a sour taste in your mouth all offseason. That's going to be the type of things that you're thinking about going into next season, of what changes, how do we get better, what moves do we make? Because the Patriots, aside from one gap year, which is essentially what it is, just a gap year, own you. We talk about Aaron Rodgers and the Bears. They own you at this point. This is legitimately like walking into daddy's house here when you head into Foxborough for the Buffalo Bills. So can they get right? One big storyline I mentioned last time these played, Josh Allen has not looked good against the Patriots. Yes, there was, of course, the insane weather, so it's almost like you want to throw out his stats against them the last time they played, but only a 7-6 touchdown interception ratio, a quarterback rating of 77 in the previous games. Bill has done a good job on Josh. Josh is still a young quarterback. Obviously, we still have a young quarterback in Mac Jones, and Mac had 2 killer interceptions for them against the Colts that I'm sure that he got reamed in practice over this entire week. I'm sure Bill did not let that one go. At this point in the season, one thing that Bill does say, is a popular phrase of his, there are no rookies in December. So can Mac Jones mentally put Saturday's performance behind him, and in a game in which he's obviously going to have to be more of a contributor, contribute? A notable thing, too, for the Bills, just to throw in here, Cole Beasley is unvaccinated. So obviously now that he has the virus, he will be out the next 10 days, which will mean he will be out this game, meaning more work for Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs. All right. What are your thoughts on this one?
So one of the things that I find interesting coming into this, similarly to last time, is Buffalo and the Patriots are very evenly matched teams. I feel like both of those teams are around similar skill sets, and it's why it's fun when they play twice a year, because it makes the matchups more interesting. This one I'm going to give to the New England Patriots, which might just be because they're playing at home. I don't know if Damian Harris is going to play or not, or what the situation is there, but I do like the chances for the New England Patriots to win this game, similarly to how I thought Buffalo had a chance to win at home against the Patriots. But what's interesting is, like you said, with Cole Beasley being out, potentially Damian Harris being out for the Patriots, how do they work Mac Jones into that offense? Because I think Buffalo is about as good as the Colts, but it's hard because the Colts have been really hot recently. So Buffalo is a really good team, and the Patriots obviously just lost to the Colts. So it's not like the Patriots are totally unbeatable like when they were on that massive win streak. I do feel like Buffalo is going to lose this game, but they're going to do it in a way that still keeps us interested in Buffalo going forward, because Buffalo really misses Tre'Davious White. They really have struggled to rush the pass since the start of the season, where they were like, we have 7 pass rushers and we're going to dominate you up front. And it hasn't quite been as nice as they wanted it to. I think Buffalo going up against the Patriots offense doesn't again have too much to worry about, because the Patriots are going to run the ball similarly to how it went last time. The Patriots have a low upside offense, even though they put up like 50 points against the Jets a few weeks ago. So I do like the New England Patriots in this game, but only because the same reasons as last time, which version of Josh Allen is going to show up for the Buffalo Bills. Because if Josh Allen has one of these crazy games against a really good Patriots defense, yeah, it probably changes the math a little bit. The reason the Colts beat the Patriots last week was not because Jonathan Taylor was amazing at running the football, although he was against a very good Patriots defense. It's because Mac Jones threw 2 interceptions. They had a blocked punt in the game, and that was a weird result that ended up working in favor of Indianapolis. So I like the Patriots to win this game. I like the Patriots to lock up the AFC East. They'll probably be the 2 seed in the AFC, looking at how things are kind of playing out right now in the tiebreakers and such. Because I think the Chiefs might win out the rest of the season, and the Patriots might as well, which I think means the tiebreaker goes to the Chiefs. If you take the Titans out of the picture, it's hard to figure out, but I do like the New England Patriots to win this week, and it's going to be really, really fun to watch. That's the thing I'll say also. This game, regardless of how the result goes, is going to be really fascinating, just like the first Bills and Patriots game.
You talk about these teams being very, very similar. You're talking about 2 of the best defenses in the league, where the Patriots allow 16 points a game, a little more over 16 points a game. The Bills only allow a little bit over 17 points a game. When you talk about total yardage, the Bills allow the league's best yardage against in the league, whereas the Patriots are 3rd in that category. I guess if you were to say X factor, it is just Josh Allen. It's just Josh Allen at the end of the day, because the Bills, you mentioned that the Patriots are a low upside offense, while the Bills are a one-dimensional offense. The Bills live and die with Josh. Devin Singletary, his 85 yards against the Carolina Panthers, that was a season high. That was a season high for basically their starting running back at the position. One thing I found shocking, the Panthers are a top 2 defense. I use that loosely, top 2 defense in the league. You'll say the Bills came off a performance of putting up 30 points against them, but the Panthers are a little bit more fraudulent in my mind in terms of like how their defense is weighed versus the Patriots. The Patriots are a sound fundamental defense that consistently week to week is not going to make blown assignments. They're not going to make the dumb play. Josh Allen, if you make the dumb play in this game, that's how you're going to lose. If his escape the pocket, roll around, run back 30 yards, 40 yards, and just try and chuck it, that's how you lose this game.
It's the same thing that happened the last time they played, which was Josh Allen completed like 50-something% of his passes, and they only scored 10 points in the snow and the cold. And if he completes maybe 2 or 3 more passes, they win the game. If Tyler Bass makes one of those kicks, they win that game. They can get by even with Josh Allen doing some of the bad stuff. It's just, is Josh Allen going to have not a game that takes them out of it? If Josh Allen takes them, same thing we talked about with the Browns and Packers game, which is I don't expect Aaron Rodgers to turn the ball over a lot, but at the same time, if he does, the Browns have a chance. If Josh Allen turns the ball over a lot, they're going to lose the game pretty bad. Because like you said, they are a totally one-dimensional offense. Same thing as the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns, no respect for the passing game, and they're going up against one of the best passing defenses in the NFL. On the flip side, the Patriots are one of the best rushing defenses in the NFL, even if they didn't do so hot against Jonathan Taylor. Like, no shame in that on their part. Like, the Patriots are really, really good at stopping the run, and the Bills have no rushing attacks. So totally one-dimensional offense. Belichick is going to dare them to do it. Maybe Belichick takes away Stephon Diggs as like, we're just going to put an entire emphasis on take away Diggs, dare you to win with Gabriel Davis. That might actually be the strategy now that I say it out loud. And maybe the do your job Patriots will be able to execute on that and get a much needed division title against the Buffalo Bills.
And aside from this game, again, just mentioning Tre'Davious White alone, we still have not seen enough teams be able to challenge that, to really push that envelope, because we saw the 3 pass attempt day by Mac Jones. They go against the Bucs, and the Bucs were able to exploit it a little bit more. But then you go against Cam and the Panthers offense. So what can we really tell from that? I think if we see close to 20 passing attempts by Mac Jones, you'll see a lot of go to where Tre'Davious White used to be in the Bills defense. And I think that that's going to be a big difference from the last time they played. Obviously, we're not going to have 50-mile-per-hour winds just gusting everywhere. Though, if I looked at that injury report real quick, because this is important for analysis. Let's see what the weather is. Weather is in Foxborough.
Yeah, it's important to check this out because the New England Patriots are going to try and use the weather as an advantage against the Buffalo Bills. And
it is looking like it is going to be 30 degrees, fun, with a 40% chance of that looks like snowfall. So classic
wonderful.
Foxborough game. Maybe we will see only 3 passing attempts.
All right.
Maybe it's 4. I just need 4. I'm pretty confident they will throw 4 times in a ball game.
Mac Jones is going to have to wear his full scuba suit again, like he did against the Bills, which is still one of the greatest things I've heard, is that he wore a full ass scuba outfit underneath his jersey.
Remember, Mac, this is year 1 of a hopefully long NFL tenure that you signed up for and a long NFL career, perhaps with the Patriots. So better acclimate. Better not invest too much in that Miami residence or that Hawaii residence. You got to get used to some cold weather. Or if you want to just
wait 4 years, I assume by then the Jaguars quarterback opening will be available. So you can go down there and enjoy the sun of Florida.
And that's both an indictment on Mac as much as it's an indictment on Trevor Lawrence.
Yep. I did that on purpose.